Bună ziua, bine ați venit. Well, today's video is about the process of moving to Romania, which I did 5.5 years ago, almost, a little bit less. What I needed to do, because I lived in the UK, had a house, had furniture, had possessions, and I needed to get rid of most of those. So I think it's quite a cathartic experience moving, because you decide what's important in your life and what you need to keep and what you need to get rid of. You'll have seen that I have a library here. So most important to me were my books. But it's not as simple as books. In my previous life, I taught literature and language, and I was a social theorist. So I wasn't that anymore. So I got rid of all my books on social theory. And what did I keep? I kept novels, I kept poetry, and I transported them over here. There was a Romanian firm that used to transport stuff from, I think, Toddington Services, just north of Luton. And they brought 40 kilos worth of books for me. My wife wasn't too happy about the second delivery, because it was, I think it was raining or it was very hot, one or the other, and she had to go and collect them. But furniture, I lived in a house, so what I did was I sold as much as I could, and I donated the rest to a homeless charity because I didn't need it. I have relatives in the UK. My son took my TV and a sofa, and my mother has some more of my possessions stored in the garage of her house, but not much, to be honest. You need far less. It makes you pare down your life. My friend Emma put up a page on a website called Gumtree, which helped me to sell my fridge, my freezer, my cooker, gas cooker, my sofa, etc. So she did that for me. But the only thing I cared about really were my books. So you really find out where your priorities lie when you move abroad. My mate from Constanza, Rich, he moved over with his car and a trailer, and probably about the same amount of stuff as I have here. And he drove through Europe with his stuff. It is difficult moving. I mean, you've got to get rid of everything. You just got to clear the decks. And you can do that because you decide what's important to you. I had some books I didn't need, I didn't want, so I gave them to my pupils, or the remaining ones I took to the bookstore at the cathedral. The cathedral in Winchester, where I was living, had a bookstore which raises money for bursaries and money for the cathedral. So I took them there, and that was fine. The other stuff I sold or I gave away. I was very lucky because a mate of mine, Gary, was organising a church like sale, like a car boot sale, but a church sale. So the stuff I hadn't sold, and I couldn't really sell, glasses, my ironing board, my iron, stuff like that, I took along and just gave it away. I mean, why not? And I gave some implements to some white goods to friends of mine who needed them or could do with them. So for the last couple of months of my time in the UK, I was sleeping on an air mattress which I bought in my bedroom, and I didn't have a fridge or a freezer, so I was eating food. I would go into town, get food, and then eat it that day. As I've said, the TV and the sofa went to the children. Then I got here, and my books were here, so I ordered a bookcase, got a guy to put together a bookcase to house the library that I have, because they're the most precious things in my life, apart from my wife and family. And I had 90 days to live here before going along to the IGI to get my permis de ședere temporar, which I did. Now, my wife helped me with that, because when you go for a temporary residency, you can have someone with you to help you with language difficulties. We had a very nice police officer who helped us with that, so that was great. We had the library built here, as you can see, and I put my books on there and I read them. I got rid of my social theory books, and I just kept the novels and the poetry that I wanted, because they're the most important things for me. My car. I bought a new car when I moved to Romania, so I've had that now for 5 years. A little Renault, which is fine for in town, very economical. And I kept my car in the UK. That's at my mum's house in a garage there. So I have a car in each country. So that's not really a problem. I was glad to be able to donate some of my furniture to the homeless centre in Winchester, the Trinity Centre, as it's known. So I gave them, excuse me, I gave them a bed, I gave them a sofa bed, I gave them a sofa, because they can make better use of that. So by the time I left Winchester, I didn't have anything in the UK, or very little. In some stuff in boxes in my mum's garage. I got rid of. I've been a teacher and a lecturer, and did I need those teaching notes? Those books, those secondary texts. I didn't need secondary texts anymore. I just needed the primary text. So I got rid of all the secondary texts. I threw away my teaching notes. I probably should have given them to a colleague, but I didn't feel that happy about doing that, so I threw them out. I got rid of just about everything. Took my clothes. Didn't take all my clothes. I'm now the proud owner of 2 suits and some ties. I haven't worn a tie for 5 years. I used to have to wear a jacket and tie for my previous existence, but I'm not very formal, so I was quite happy to get rid of those, and to put the past in the past, really. So when you move, you realise what's important to you, and when you move countries, it's a huge step to move from one country to another, it really is enormous, because you've got the language change, you've got the cultural difference, and can you bring everything? No, you can't. So you've got to decide what you want to keep and what you are prepared to leave behind. So the process of moving took about 6 months, I would say, from when I decided to move. I decided to move in October. I handed in my resignation or retirement from my previous employer, and then moved in the July of the following year. So more than 6 months, 9 months. And that gave me time to plan how I was going to do it, what I was going to bring, and what I was going to jettison and leave in the UK. If you are planning a move, like I've done, good luck to you. If you're moving for the right reasons, you won't regret it. And I haven't regretted 1 minute of the last 5 and a bit years I've been in Romania. So, thank you for watching. La rivedere.